welcome to the Joey the Driver podcast. Real quick, just want to give a shout out to my last guest. He just hopped out the car and almost got run over. Hope you're doing all right, buddy. You know who you are if you're listening to this. The next thing I want to get into is about Uber Eats. So I had a guest today. I picked up their food. I went to go drop it off, and the dude was like nowhere to be found. So I called him, no answer. I got another call, and then he was like, "Where are you?" Like, all rude. So immediately I'm just turned off to the whole situation, and I said, "Okay, I'm on this street. I'm over here. I am at this cross section, and this is where I'm at. How can I get to you? Am I in the right place? Do you see my hazard lights?" So he directed me to go a certain way. I went that way. It wasn't there. So I pulled over into a safer spot where I could actually stop, have my hazards on. I called him again, and no answer. And I'm actually stuck in a corner now, and I couldn't move. I had to back out, and the situation was just getting more and more dangerous. So I had to bail. I want to say I apologize to the dude whose food I did not get to him, but for one, the app was not working. I couldn't even get to the right place. The app was just lagging, and the directions weren't even right. The directions wouldn't load. I had no idea where I was going. And yeah, I complained to the company. I told them, look, refund the money. The app wasn't working. I couldn't deliver it, So after that, I was feeling pretty bad about that. I seen a homeless dude on the corner, so I pulled over, looked at the food, looked at the homeless dude, and I walked it over to him and gave it to him. It's the least I could do. I screwed up somebody's order, felt super bad about them missing out on their lunch, so I just gave it to a homeless dude. I didn't know what else to do. The dude is super thankful for it. He was wearing a Raiders hat, which actually made me think twice. I almost didn't give it to him. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, the Raiders suck. Anyways, they're actually doing pretty well. They've been doing really well the last couple seasons, albeit Derek Carr got messed up. Sad story. But I digress. So, rest assured, Uber Eats customer, your food fed a homeless man. I hope you feel a little bit better about that if you're listening. Also with Uber Eats, just a heads up, if you're going to use that, don't assume anything. Call the dude, make sure you know where you're going, and always try and stay in communication. Also, if you're the guest ordering food, you better get your ass out there and grab that food, because it doesn't always happen where the app leads us into the right direction, okay? So make sure, stay ahead of the game. Make sure you know when your food's coming. Just keep an eye on the little dot or the little car, whatever it is on the app. Make sure you get your food, because it's too hard to deliver to the door sometimes. Sometimes we got multiple orders, and sometimes it's just impossible to find the single hotel door room in like a 3-building fancy ass hotel. So just be aware if you're ordering the food, and also be ready for it. Moving on. Ended up in Oakland today. Didn't like that too much, but at first, actually, then I took a couple rides, and the people are really great over there, actually. I picked up these 2 cats. They were going to the movie theater, and on the way there, we seen a a big block in Oakland blocked off, and they were telling me how this building just burnt down the other day. They said it was still up in the air. I don't think there's any details to come out about it yet, but pretty tragic things going on over there in the Bay Area. Yeah, we were talking about that fire, and then a couple months before the ghost ship fire, and I guess this one was also a place where some people were staying, and prior to the fire, the city had actually come down on them, telling them to clean up their living quarters. It was hazardous. I don't know, I couldn't get the full scoop. Maybe I'll look that up later when I get home. But yeah, these dudes were going to the movies, so I asked them what they're going to go watch, and they said Get Out. I said, whoa, you guys haven't seen Get Out yet? And I told them, honestly, I didn't want to see it when it came out. I didn't think it was going to be that good. Jordan Peele directed it. I thought it was a comedy. I didn't really know what to think. So I told them, look, I thought it was going to be really bad, but I gave it a shot. And I actually watched this on some website. But anyways, I was watching it, and I couldn't stop watching it. It was a really good movie. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but it's actually a pretty cool movie. From the trailer, it kind of confuses you. I didn't know what to think, honestly. So when I watched it, I was just completely surprised. It was really entertaining. Let's see what else happened today. Okay, so the Uber driver app sucks. It was just messing me up all day. I was trying to fix it. I was trying to reset my phone. I was trying to close the app and reopen it. And I finally just messaged the tech support Uber stupid support messages that don't even help. I told them, hey, this is unsafe. The app isn't working. I feel uncomfortable working for you guys. This is some bullshit. So, did that a couple times because the app just does not work. I reset it and everything, and I was trying to figure out, I used a couple other different maps and the same thing. So I started to think it was my phone. Reset the phone, turned it off for a little bit, let it chill out, cooled it down, put it on the fan. Same thing. So I finally got some answers from Uber, and they actually gave me another tip, another way to reset it. They just said sign in and out of the app, reset the phone. Same thing I was doing, close the app, reset it, turn off the app. I also signed out. That was one thing I didn't do. And also, if the Bluetooth is on, the Bluetooth can interfere with your GPS, apparently. So I signed out, and when I signed back on, picked up a ride, and it was the old version of the app, which I actually like. I like that better than a new version. And it helped out. I mean, it's the old version of the app, and it looks unfamiliar now because I've been using the new app for so long, but I felt 10 times safer, and I couldn't imagine what I would have done if I didn't reset the app. So if you're ever frustrated like I was today, just sign out, sign back on, and if it still doesn't work, then just throw your phone out the window and go grab a burger and see a movie, grab a beer, whatever. Don't even trip. Just quit Uber. Forget about it. Anyways, yeah, live your life. But anyways, yeah, so I got caught up in Oakland today with this faulty app situation going on. It was getting real sketch. I didn't know where I was, and neither GPS on my phone was working, so it got a little dicey. Thank God I started to come to my senses and just stop which is the most sensible thing you can do. Just stop Ubering. Just stop. Take a break. Just relax. Get off the road. Take a nap. Because let's face it, they're taking advantage of the drivers. I mean, when Uber first started, people were making money. And now it's just not the same. Let's just face the facts. It's not the same. People used to be making thousands of dollars a week, and that's just impossible. I mean, at least in the Bay Area. You can make some pretty good money in the Bay Area, but it ain't nothing like what it used to be. Yeah, I seen this video the other day, pretty viral. I think everyone else has seen it by now, of the main dude of Uber in a car talking to an Uber Black driver. And the driver said, one time the Uber Black was $20 per trip, or base fare or whatever. And I remember that. I remember looking, when I signed up for Uber, I remember looking at Black and seeing that it was a $20 like minimum fare per trip. And that's pretty outstanding if you're a black car driver, if you got all your qualifications for that. But the point is, the money's not the same, and it's getting worse. Actually, maybe it's getting a little better. I heard that San Francisco raised their booking fee, which probably won't even help out the drivers at all. But yeah, the drivers need to get together, network, and form the resistance. Because is it just me, or is this whole Uber thing gonna turn into fucking Cyberdyne and whatever the shit with Judgment Day and the Terminator? For sure, 100%. Because, let me tell you why. Because they're putting the autonomous cars back on the road, those sons of bitches. I mean, for real, like, how dangerous is that? It's whatever. I mean, I guess it's the future, the new world, whatever you want to call it. But they got pulled off the San Francisco streets before. I think they were in Sacramento for a little bit. I think in Philly. In Philly, they had it for a little bit too. I don't know if they discontinued that one over there or not. But it was discontinued in San Francisco, and now it's coming back. And who knows, you hear all kinds of stories in the news about not having regulation this and not doing that, so whatever. Who knows what the truth is. But the facts are, the cars are going to be driving themselves. They already are. I can tell you for sure in the Bay Area, in Mountain View and Palo Alto, right over where Google is, all those campuses for the tech companies, they all have self-driving cars, basically. Google has a gang of them, the G-Rides. Those guys are, it's no joke. I was on an empty street doing a late night shift somewhere in Mountain View, near one of those campuses, and pulling up next to me is a driverless car. It's like a nice little futuristic egg bean shape type vehicle. Some blue lighting and nobody in it, with some machinery in the middle, driving really slow. Yeah, it's pretty creepy when they're the only other ones on the road with you. Pretty scary. But I would like to try out one of those Teslas self-driving. I heard that's kind of shady too, but you can't lie. It would be a little bit interesting to try one of those out. But at the same time, it's goddamn ridiculous. And they're taking their jabs. But that's also why you can't do this shit full time. Like, you just can't. It's better anyways to just do it in your spare time and make a little extra cash. And with that said, you could be one of those dudes who just works the night shifts on the weekends I mean, if you're someone who likes to go out and party on the weekends, take a day or two off, take a weekend off, and just work that weekend night, and you'll make a lot of money, and you'll end up trading out bad habits for good habits. Instead of spending money, you're making money, and you end up seeing what the benefits are, especially health-wise, if you stop drinking, stop spending your money on drinking, and you start making money when other people are drinking. It's a foolproof concept, because drinking's overrated to begin with. No one likes to be hungover. No one likes to just be completely shit-faced, beyond their wits, and acting like an idiot. Next thing you know, you're on YouTube and you're being recorded. That's just not the business, man. You do not want to be there. You do not want to be like that chick from Eastbound and Down. Or, no, not Eastbound and Down. What's the name of that show? The HBO one with Danny McBride. Vice Principals. The lady principal gets blackmailed by Danny McBride. Spoiler alert. She gets her drunk and then videotapes her and feels bad about it, whatever. Actually, still waiting on season 2 of that one, HBO. Can't go wrong with HBO for the most part. There's a tip for you. If you're driving around and you're trying to work a shift and it ends up being kind of dead and you're just waiting around, but you still want to make some money, or you still need to make some money, but you can't stand the boredom, just pop a movie on your phone. Just go to Google, I guess, and just search whatever you want to watch, or even YouTube. You can find some pretty interesting documentaries on YouTube. I would suggest, if you're going to go YouTube, y'all should check out a little documentary by the name of Blue Bloods. It's kind of hard to find. It's about the royal family in England. It's pretty interesting stuff. About the reptilian race and their infiltration of the blue blood family, the royal family. At the very least, it'll give you some interesting material to talk to your guests and your writers about. And that's not Blue Blood, the fucking TV show or whatever it is, the like CSI type show or whatever. I don't know. I was searching for it one time and that came up. It was not what I was looking for. What else can I talk about? Let's see. Oh, if you're waiting for a ride and you're an Uber customer, don't be like in the middle of the street, or don't be in a place where cars can't even stop to pick you up. It's kind of weird. And honestly, I'm just gonna start like driving right by people like that. Like it's too much. It's not safe. Or most of the time, what I'll end up doing is I'll pass the person and then just pull into the next spot, next driveway that I can access without getting hit by a car or stopping in the middle of the street. It's weird, man. Like, if you need a ride, like, know what's going on. Don't just stand in the middle of the street and request the ride. Super sketchy. I don't know. There's some people who are still new to the Uber app, I guess. Well, it's been out for like almost 10 years now or something. Like, thinking in 2009 it officially started or something, or it got sold in 2011, and it didn't blow up until like 2014, something weird. I don't know. Probably completely wrong. But how could you not know what Uber is by now? I don't know. I feel like everyone, uses it at least once a week or something. With all fairness, if you're not in a bigger city, you probably don't even use it all, I guess, But when I pick up people in the Bay Area, it's like, you should know what the hell's going on, man. So, all in all, Bay Area was a bit weak today. I will say that I was on the weak side of the Bay, though. For the most of the day, I was in the East Bay, from about Oakland down to Milpitas, down to San Jose, and over to Mountain View, not too far up to Palo Alto. That's about it. Didn't hit San Francisco or Palo Alto really today at all, which I regret. It seems to be that most of the rides come from Palo Alto, I feel. Obviously, San Francisco is a busier place, but personally, I try to stay the hell away from San Francisco. That city is one big bitch, swear to God. If you're in that city and you're a driver, I hand it to you, man. This shit's not easy. There's so many different things, different signs, like, on the streets as it is. Like, you can barely even tell where you're going. If I get a ride out there, I'm heading right back out. I'm heading down the Bay. I'm not gonna stay there at all, unless I get a ride in, like, the middle of the night or around closing time of the bars, like last call, because usually the streets are empty by then, and it's easier to navigate the streets. It's so much nicer. I wouldn't drive in that city unless it's after midnight or something, or 1 o'clock even. It's too much, and there's tolls everywhere. What happens is, if I end up in the city, I'll either switch my app so that my next ride is going to be going towards San Jose, or I just turn it off and I just get the hell out of Dodge. I don't want no part of that city during the daytime. It is too busy. There was a time when I was actually just walking the streets of San Francisco. I was just walking to a Giants game, and a car had run into the side of a building, and it wasn't like the guy not only just sped through a light or sped past people, but the building that he hit was diagonal. You had to go out of your way to hit that thing. You couldn't go straight into it. You had to surpass multiple lanes diagonally to run into this building. It was right on the corner. I don't know how he did it. He must have come in at least 60 and swerved into that building. It was the craziest shit I ever seen. I actually didn't see it happen, but the car was smashed into the building. It was intense. Another time, I was just walking on the streets. Right in front of me, I'm just waiting to cross the street. I'm waiting for the white walking dude on the sign, and a car gets hit by another car, like, out of nowhere. Like, the streets are too narrow for turns, and there's blind spots everywhere. You're just gonna get hit for sure. It's way too much risk out there, unless you're there when the bars are closed and the streets are open and free. That's the only time I'll drive over there. Because if you're there during the daytime, if you pick up a ride over there, it's gonna be so hard to pick that person up. It's gonna be like you got maybe like a 50% chance of actually picking up that ride. Because when you go pick them up, you might not even be able to stop on that street. There's certain streets where you can't stop at certain times. So that's just how I feel. It's not safe over there. Alright, what else do I got to share with you, all riders and drivers out there listening in? Let's see. So yeah, the bay sucked today. It wasn't that great. I only made out like a whopping like $12, $13 an hour. It's BS. It was whack. What I could have done to make more, I probably would have stayed on the other side of the bay. In my opinion, most of the rides that come out of the Bay Area are coming from Palo Alto and San Francisco. But when you're working the Uber Eats, there are a lot of Uber Eats rides in Palo Alto as well. So you really can't go wrong if you just go straight to Palo Alto. It's going to be busy. Plus, Stanford's right there. Got a lot of students. Super busy downtown area. Just stay out of the bad parts, Just stay out of the bad residential areas, or, stay away from, like, the east side or whatever. Like, the bad side's always, like, the east side, Like, I don't know if it is. Well, in Palo Alto, that seems to be the case, but... No disrespect to Palo Alto. It's a beautiful area, but in certain parts, you don't feel safe, And that goes everywhere, Everywhere, every city has a bad spot. Every town, there's no escaping it. There's negativity everywhere. So just stay safe out there. And this has been the Joey the Driver podcast. Thanks for listening. For more information, go to joeythedriver.com. As always, drive safe and go get that Sir Chewbacca. If you like what you heard, go ahead and like and subscribe. If not, go ahead and hate in the comments if you like. I don't care. I can use some constructive criticism. Alright. Joey out.